What if I told you the next iPhone might cost more than your laptop? And might also be the biggest design leap in a decade? Whether you're an Apple fan or just someone curious about what's coming next, the iPhone 17 series might just blow your mind, and possibly your wallet. From a thinner iPhone Air, to a Pro model with massive camera upgrades, to rising prices due to global tensions and tariffs, we've got a ton of leaks, news, and behind-the-scenes rumors to unpack. So let's break it all down. Let's start with the most shocking part, pricing. The current iPhone 16 Pro Max with 1TB storage already retails at an eye-watering $1,599 before tax in the US. But due to geopolitical issues, new tariffs, and the global production shuffle, industry analysts say the iPhone 17 Pro Max 1TB could cross $2,300 in some regions. Countries like China, Vietnam, India, and Taiwan, where Apple sources its components, are facing heavy import-export pressures. Some reports from Zoneplant Securities and Nanolist main suggest that unless Apple shifts more production to India and Vietnam, they'll either have to hike prices or take a massive hit on profits. And here's the kicker. If Apple doesn't increase prices, it could see a profit margin dip of nearly 9%, which is huge for a trillion-dollar company. Even under optimistic conditions, Apple might still lose 5.56% unless new trade agreements are signed. Now here's the surprise entry in the lineup, the iPhone 17 Air. Multiple sources, including Jeff Pu and Ming-Chi Kuo, claim Apple is working on a super-thin iPhone, possibly just 5.5 millimeters thick, with a 6.6-inch display. This would replace the Plus model, sitting between the standard and Pro sizes. But to go that thin, sacrifices must be made. Leaks suggest it might only have a single rear camera, ditching the ultra-wide and telephoto lenses. The main camera could still be powerful, and the selfie camera might even get a boost, but this would clearly target design-first users, not power users. The rumored price? Around $900, which makes it competitive, but still a premium for a device with stripped-down features. One of the most requested upgrades in recent years has been promotion displays, and it looks like Apple is finally listening. Leaks suggest that all iPhone 17 models, not just the Pros, will come with 120Hz refresh rates. That's a huge leap from the current 60Hz panels on the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus. This means smoother animations, better gaming, and finally bringing standard iPhones on par with Android flagships in this department. There's also talk of Apple adding always-on display support to non-Pro models, making the lineup more consistent across the board. Visually, we're expecting a subtle but important redesign. The Pro models are likely to retain their titanium frames with minor refinements, while the base models will get aluminum or stainless steel with rounded edges, improved durability, and thinner bezels. The iPhone 17 Air, again, is expected to steal the show design-wise. This could be Apple's thinnest and lightest full-sized phone ever, appealing to people who miss the minimalism of older iPhones. There are also renders showing horizontal camera layouts, a big departure from the diagonal and square arrays we've seen since the iPhone 11. Some designs resemble Google Pixel's aesthetics, with a single strip housing the lenses. Now let's talk cameras, where Apple always brings the heat. The iPhone 17 Pro is rumored to upgrade the telephoto lens to 48MP, a big leap from the 12MP zoom lens on the 16 Pro. There's talk of reducing the zoom to 3.5x, which may sound like a downgrade from 5x, but the improved sensor quality could balance it out. Expect the same triple camera system on both Pro and Pro Max variants again, giving you pro-grade shots either way. As for the non-Pro models, they're sticking to dual cameras, but improvements in computational photography and new image processing algorithms might help narrow the gap. The iPhone Air, as mentioned earlier, might come with just one main lens, which would be a huge differentiator. Apple is planning a massive redesign with iOS 19, and it might be one of the biggest since iOS 7 in 2013. Inspired by visionOS, the new iOS will reportedly feature rounded app icons, transparent UI elements, simplified navigation, floating panels, and buttons. Let's talk under the hood. The A19 Pro chip is expected to power the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, built on a refined 3nm process, with better thermal management and a redesigned cooling system. Rumors also suggest Apple might replace Broadcom's Wi-Fi chip with an in-house solution, enhancing connectivity and setting the stage for a unified Apple Silicon ecosystem. Battery life? That's the one wild card. The thinner iPhone Air could suffer, likely having a smaller battery, unless Apple brings some breakthrough tech. The Pro Max and Ultra models, however, might feature larger batteries and better power efficiency, especially with iOS 19's performance optimizations. Here's the wild card: the iPhone 17 Ultra. Reports are mixed, but some leakers claim Apple might introduce a new top-tier model above the Pro Max. Bigger battery, smaller dynamic island, even better cooling, new exclusive features like satellite video calls or periscope zoom. If this model drops, expect pricing to start at $1,299 or more, pushing Pro Max down to a mid-premium tier. Apple is actively trying to move production away from China. In 2024, only 10–12% of iPhone production came from India. In 2025, that number is expected to hit 15% or more. Apple is investing heavily in Vietnam and India to scale up production and avoid future tariff issues. The faster Apple diversifies, the better for pricing and for stability of supply. Otherwise, future iPhones could see delays, region-specific shortages, or even higher prices, depending on how things play out with US-China relations. So there you have it, Apple's boldest iPhone lineup in years: higher prices, thinner designs, smoother displays, smarter software, and sleeker cameras. From the futuristic iPhone 17 Air to the powerhouse Pro and Ultra models, Apple seems ready